Corvair has already completed a record-setting expedition from Chicago to Panama. Story of what separates two and of Corvairs decides to go all the way to South America. No passenger car has ever made this trip where there is no road, devastating obstacles that keep the two continents apart. 3 rugged Chevrolet supply trucks complete the caravan. These 4-wheel drive workhorses are ideal for slugging through the jungle with the heavy supplies and native helpers. In Panama, not far from the Great Canal, the road leads to the bank of a river called the Bayano. American highway ends of the Darien subcommittee, the expedition luck. Luck they know is needed, because ahead lies the impassable jungle between North and South America, one of the least explored jungles in the world today. The Darien, with thousands of square miles of tropical forest, where the rainfall is among the world's heaviest. It is beautiful and mysterious, but it is also forbidding and dangerous. It is called impassable because it is filled with rugged hills, valleys, and mountains, tricky uncharted rivers, and an almost endless succession of treacherous ravines and gullies. And it is all covered by dense undergrowth, which virtually shuts out the light and makes the jungle a sticky, damp, sweltering hot place. Here is the challenge. The Corvairs head for the edge of the jungle. Don't blame Dobbin for getting excited. An automobile is news in this part of the world. The high location of fan, air intake, and electrical system, along with perfectly tight sealing, lets Corvair drive through water as no ordinary car can. The hacking of a trail begins. But in the unskilled hands of these eager, the expedition leader knows of the dangers ahead. So plans and strategy are gone over again and again. Now starts the ordeal. Plunging over savage, racking ruts and bumps on a narrow, twisting, hand-carved trail that slams up and down as often as it winds left or right. A test of torture for the cars and trucks. There's constant work for everyone. To cross the deeper gullies, ground must be leveled, trees cut, and logs moved laboriously into place to form crude bridges. Altogether, the caravan builds and crosses 180 such bridges. Every Corvair design feature is vital to getting through the Darien. The short wheelbase is just right for handling on the tricky trail. The precise weight distribution makes the car easy to steer, even when heavily loaded. The rugged, unitized body absorbs the pounding. In response to suddenly changing power demands, the Corvair's rugged engine transaxle combination is unbeatable. The aluminum air-cooled rear engine supplies instantly available power. The transaxle puts all the power into a positive grip that lets the tires bite into the slippery, uneven floor of the jungle. The steeper the hill, the greater the payoff in Corvair's amazing traction. The steep hills get steeper, but the Corvairs and Chevrolet trucks dig in, turn on the power, and keep going. River after river is crossed. 173 of them in all, many that do not appear on any maps. Such findings are reported to the Darien Subcommittee, the group which hopes to eventually put a road through the Darien Gap. And the expedition is cited for its important contribution to the progress of the Pan American Highway. Occasionally, the caravan encounters Indians, the only humans who live in the jungle. Watch what happens as the bridge builders get overconfident. Well, back to the old drawing board. Although it seems impossible, the midday sun is shining brightly overhead, yet the jungle remains gloomy and almost as dark as night. That's one reason why the caravan is battle-scarred. In the deceptive light, a driver misjudges the width of the trail and is trapped in a wedge of trees. No one can win every battle with the jungle. It's through the mud as far as possible. Then a power winch. It's hard to believe that any car can keep its footing on hills so steep they seem almost straight down. On long slopes like this, progress is slow and tiresome, hard on men and cars, and it's often dangerous. Watch what happens when a winch cable snaps under the strain. No one is injured, but repairs to the cars and trucks must be made on the spot. While some are working, others use the precious time off for getting spruced up. There's also a rush of business at the local laundry. As for Miko, the mascot, supervising the expedition's one-volume library is a full-time job. Drinking water is hard to come by in the jungle. Sometimes it can be found in the branches of big vines. Here, such a drink is enjoyed at the base of the rapid-growing quipo, the world's largest weed. A hand-generator-powered radio provides the caravan with its only means of contact with the outside world. And dugout canoes, called piraguas, which the natives hollow out of solid mahogany logs, are the only means of jungle transportation. Supplies of all kinds must travel up the rivers in the piraguas, then be packed laboriously through the jungle. The arrival is always good news. Fuel for the cars and trucks, and for the electrical generator that powers camp lights. And a welcome change in the menu. Potatoes tonight, in place of the usual rice. After many miles and many days of battling the Darien, the caravan reaches the town of Yavisa, about 3/4 of the way to the goal, the Colombian border. Yavisa, the largest town in the Darien, is a welcome relief from slugging through the jungle. And it's a big event for the 1,700 people of Yavisa, too, especially the kids. The caravan sets out to cross the Chacanaqui River. A barge, normally used to carry bananas, is used as a car ferry. This is the first and only river the caravan is able to cross by barge. The rest must be forded. The drivers like the idea of crossing at least one river the easy way, as passengers. It seems like a chance to relax. But even in the jungle, there are menacing hot rodders. On the opposite bank, the battle begins again. Only a quarter of the distance left to go. But 6 big mountain ridges are yet to be crossed. Every mile of progress must be fought for, foot by foot and inch by inch. Again, the caravan must fight its way through the dark and narrow tunnels of the stubborn Darien. At times, the trail is broken not by native cutters, but by the caravan itself. Here, the Corvair's unique chassis design pays off. Its rigidity withstands the beatings it takes, and the clean undercarriage keeps it from getting snarled in the underbrush. As the struggle goes on, the rugged Chevrolet trucks prove their reliability again and again. Despite the brutal beating they take, the sturdy trucks press on through the jungle. Only 50 miles to go, perhaps an hour's driving on the turnpikes and freeways of your state. But many, many days of battling the jungle still lie ahead. And now another threat is added to all the others. One of the world's worst rainy seasons, which leaves part of the jungle under 20 feet of water. So now the caravan pauses at dusk to gulp down a meager dinner. Then they press on through the night, even though the darkness adds to the danger and treachery of the jungle. The final round is coming up, and the Darien seems to redouble all of its defenses. The trail becomes progressively rougher with more tricky turns, more gullies, more tortuous hills. Each hill is steeper and higher than the one before. Grades often exceed 60 degrees and are slick and slippery because of the heavy rains that fall each night. Slow going like this allows the caravan to cover as little as a few hundred yards on many days. Now, with only 25 miles before the goal, only 25 miles to South America, the battle-scarred Corvairs and trucks make a final all-out push. In the face of such determination, no obstacles can stand forever. Even the stubborn jungle gives way. You've seen what it takes to beat a jungle into submission. Now watch them finish the job. When the right men have the right equipment, they can go almost anywhere. In the hands of skillful drivers, Corvair's perfect traction, balance, power, and maneuverability are a match for anything on 4 wheels. All the miles and all the days and the weeks have been for this accomplishment. These young men with their cars and trucks have dared the Darien and won. From the gloomy cathedral light of the deep jungle, out to the open sky. And suddenly, the grim and forbidding jungle is behind them. Here is the entrance to South America. Here stands a crude concrete marker called Palo de las Letras, meaning in English, the tree of the letters. One side is in Panama, the other in Colombia. This is the goal, the end of the Darien Gap, the world's worst roadblock. this is the beginning of South America. For them, all of South America lies just ahead. And perhaps because they have shown that even nature's toughest roadblock can be broken, you too may someday drive your car to see the majestic grandeur of the Andes, the ancient wonders of Peru, the sparkling glamour of Rio, the modern beauty of Buenos Aires. With cars like the Corvair, built to new standards of ruggedness and ability, the world grows smaller and smaller.